Have you ever noticed that the moment you hit a goal, your brain immediately moves the finish line? You pass the exam, and instead of celebrating, you are already worrying about the next certification. You hit a milestone in your project, and instead of feeling proud, you're stressing about the next 10 steps. It's a loop. I call it the Goalpost Trap. If you are an high achiever or an overthinker, your brain is constantly running at 100% CPU, trying to solve problems that don't even exist yet. It's exhausting. Today, I want to talk about how I stop that loop before it leads to burnout, and how I use a simple debug diary to stay in the race without losing my mind. The biggest mistake we make is treating our brains like a hard drive. We try to store every worry, every to-do, and every future goal in our active memory. But your brain is actually a processor. It's meant to think, to create, and to solve. When you clog up your processor with storage, like worrying about notifications, numbers, or what ifs, the whole system slows down. You get brain fog. The secret to speed is not working harder, it's offloading the data. You have to move the storage to an external device. For me, that's this notebook. So, how do you actually initialize this process? Most people get stuck here because they go out and buy a $50 leather-bound journal and feel like they have to write poetry. Stop. If your journal is too pretty, you will be afraid to be messy. Get a notebook that you are not afraid to ruin. This is your scratch pad. When I start a session, I treat it like a raw log file. I don't care about grammar or handwriting. I just dump every running process onto the page. If I'm worried about a project at work, write it down. If I'm feeling frustrated that a video did not perform the way I wanted, write it down. If I'm stressed about an F1 race result, yes, even that goes in. You're clearing the RAM. Once it's on the paper, you can look at it objectively. You go from feeling the stress to observing the stress. It's like looking at a bug in a line of code instead of being the code itself. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't have the time to write an essay every day. And that's where the 5-minute rule comes in. In tech, we have heartbeat checks, small frequent signals to make sure the system is alive. This is your mental heartbeat. Spend 2 minutes just dumping the noise. Spend another 2 minutes asking why. If you are angry at the idiots in the traffic or the void of the internet, why does it actually bother you? Usually, it's because we are looking for control in places we don't have it. The final minute is for the fix. What is one tiny microscopic thing you can control right now? Maybe it's just drinking a glass of water or closing a tab. If you can't spare 5 minutes for your own sanity, your system is already broken. Before we move into the analog versus digital debate, I wanted to check in with you. If you're watching this, you're likely a system thinker like me. Does your brain feel like it's running too many background apps right now? Drop a yes or a 1 in the comments if you ever felt that goalpost trap we talked about earlier. It really helps the channel to grow when you engage, and honestly, it helps me know I'm not the only one debugging my life in the middle of the night. If this is hitting home, hit that like button. Let's keep going. In my line of work, everything is digital. We have Notion, Evernote, endless tools to organize our lives. But here's the problem. Digital is too fast. When you type, you can type as fast as you worry. When you use a pen, you're forced to slow down to the speed of your hand. That physical resistance is exactly what an overthinker needs. It's a throttle for your anxiety. I have tried the apps. I have tried the productivity suits. They just become more tabs in my brain. The notebook, it has no notification. It has no updates. It's just sit there waiting for you to offload. For me, the debug diary has to be physical. It's the only way to break the digital loop. So, you have been doing this for a week. Your desk is starting to fill up with the scribbles. What do you actually do with these logs? There are two schools of thoughts here, and I've tried both. Some people burn the logs. They write the anger down and then rip the page out and throw it away. It's a symbolic way of saying, this data no longer exists in my system. It's incredibly cathartic. But I prefer the archive. Every once in a while, maybe once a month, I go back and read what I was worried about 30 days ago. And you know what? 90% of things that felt like system critical errors back then did not even happen. Or if they did, I survived them. When you look at your past logs, you start to see pattern recognition. You realized you are not actually stressed about the work. You are stressed about the uncertainty. Once you identify the pattern, you can write a script to handle it next time. You stop being a victim of your moods and start being the architect of your reactions. If you stick with this for 30 days, something strange happens to your operating system. You don't stop having problems. Life does not stop throwing bugs at you. But your latency drops. Instead of being stressed for 3 days because someone did not reply to your email or did not return back your call, you're stressed for 3 minutes. You recognize the loop, you open the diary, you offload the data, and you get back to the work. This is the lazy era secret. It's not about doing more work. It's about having a cleaner workspace in your mind. When your background processes are clear, you have more power for the things that actually matter. Like learning AWS, watching the race, or just being present with your family. You are not just journaling, you are upgrading your mental hardware. I started this video talking about the goalpost trap. I still fall into it sometimes. I think we all do. But the difference now is that I have a map. I have a log that proves I have been here before and I have made it through. If you're feeling like you're stuck in a loop today, I want to challenge you. Don't go buy a fancy book. Just grab the nearest piece of paper and write it down, the one thing that is redlining your CPU right now. Just one. Then close the book and go for a walk. Before I sign off, I want to say a huge thank you to each and everyone who has joined us. This channel is a bit of lab, a bit of diary, and honestly, a bit of a dream. If this helped you debug your afternoon, please hit subscribe and join the group. Hit the like button so the algorithm knows that the overthinker exists and we need this kind of content. And tell me in the comments, what's one bug you're trying to fix in your life this week? I will be down there responding to as many as I can. Take it one step at a time. The race is long, but it's yours. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.